Hey guys, and wow, it's been a long time since I've done one of these, but I was kind of thinking on my morning walk this morning, lots of kind of little changes have happened to Arboleas and the surroundings, so I'll try and do a little drive by. It'll take me a bit of time to catch up, but we'll start with this one today. So I'm on the Polygono, the main industrial estate for Arboleas, and the first edition, and this has literally just opened, is this wonderful Taj Indian restaurant. Hearing loads and loads of good reports on this. The food's absolutely amazing, and it's now one of two Indian restaurants. We hadn't had any Indian restaurants for years, and now Arboleas has two fantastic Indian restaurants. We'll drive past the other one in a second. Now this is just up the way from the bowling, 10-pin bowling, which is immediately behind me. And of course, anyone who knows the area, you know not only the bowling, but you've got a fantastic restaurant there. The fish and chips are second to none. Burgers amazing. And then I'm passing now one of the petrol stations for Arboleas, and you've got the fantastic Mora supermarket now, which has been a real kind of added benefit to Arboleas, as it's the only one that opens on a Sunday. And you can get fantastic fresh eggs, bread, you know, wine, beers and meats and everything else in there. I'm particularly partial to their massive packs of bacon, which they sell for €6.95, but they're absolutely enormous. And the best value I've found. I'm going to kind of take a drive round here now and then go over to La Perla for you. You know, I know we've shot loads of these in the past, but it's been a while now and we're getting so much demand. There's people all over the Facebook, so you know, how do I get a kind of map of the area? How do I understand the location? So the whole idea of these little drive rounds, as it was then, as it is now, is really to kind of show you a little bit of what's going on in our location. This is April, obviously, you know, not particularly blue skies today, but we're still up at kind of 20 degrees, which is absolutely lovely, very comfortable. I've even seen some people starting to use their pools this early in the year, so can't complain at all. So I'm now driving over the 3 roundabout system into Arboleas, and you can just see up on there the second Indian restaurant, the Indian Garden. Yesterday, Bank Holiday Monday for you and for us as well, they had the brilliant Emma Wilde singing there in the garden. They did a kind of full menu, but a lovely tapas menu as well, and there was probably around kind of 60 cars outside, so people obviously took advantage to it. So if I turn left at this roundabout, I literally go straight over the new bridge via the Coviran supermarket and the Hostel Messon into Arboleas Centre, but I'm just going to take a little diversion now, because the whole objective really of today's little film was to do another little drive around of the La Perla Villa community. So I'll do that, finish up at the Indian Garden. So if I come off this way, I'm now heading down to the El Prado part of La Perla. As you can see, easy road access. I can see La Cinta and El Rincon over there in the distance. So this pops me in at one end of La Perla without having to go through Arboleas town and whatever. You know, it's pretty, but it just takes a little bit more time, and the roads are a little bit more narrow coming in from the other direction from the centre of town. But here, straight off the kind of motorway, an easy access down into the community. So this is now what's a little part of La Perla, the far end part, if you like, the furthest away from the town, called El Prado. Very popular with kind of Brits and Belgians, but equally the Spanish love this location as well. Got a little primary school and everything in situ. So if I turn right here, that takes me round, and this is how I would get to El Rincon and La Cinta. But you can see all of these properties I'm driving past at the moment are very traditional in style, often very large, but these are all to a T owned by Spanish. And then you drive through this little bit here, and you start to join where most of the kind of expats have got their villa properties, I suppose. So this is the middle road of La Perla. There's another road to the left of me and another road at the bottom to the right that form a curve and go from one end to the t'other. Now another kind of significant change is this Via de Verde, you can see it here, part of it. This is a fantastic walking route. It's not allowed for motorised traffic, bicycles and people on foot, but it runs all the way from L'Alfaquia in one end of it over to the beautiful towns of Almanzora and Cantoria in the other direction. So I think about 17 kilometres in its entirety, but the beauty of it is it's all on the level, and loads of people taking advantage of this, dog walking, exercise walking, you name it. So over to my right now, you've got a lot of the most popular streets in the La Perla community with some lovely villas, either as second homes or full-time residences, and this is where we get quite a few coming onto the market, and a hugely popular area because from where I am now, okay, in the car it's a what, 3-minute drive maximum into Arboleas centre, but that translates into a 20 maximum 25-minute walk depending on what part of La Perla you're in. Very I mean, we often get, you know, asked to send Google map pins of people's specific properties and stuff like that, so clients can go and have a drive-by and have a look from the outside, but really it's a fairly pointless exercise because look, I'm driving along here, all I've got is nice walls for privacy, and the backs of properties essentially. You know, it's not rocket science, but people don't like people driving down the street and gawping at them in their swimming pool areas and their private gardens, so they always undertake to buy properties that offer privacy, which is great for them but not great for people who want to kind of do drive arounds and try and have a look at these things from the outside, if you like. So we've come now virtually to the opposite end of La Perla, other than a few small hamlets, and it's kind of signified by what was the old railway building, which has now been kind of refurbished and made a lot more pretty. And if I take that right turning there, literally straight line through some lovely villas and some citrus groves, and I'm back in Arboleas centre, and then coming out onto one of the outer roads now. So I've kind of done a semicircle, and then if I take this right turn, that brings me up to the starting point, the main road, as you'll see in a second. So just come up and you can see the Poligono industrial estate where we started in the distance there. And not too known about little roadway this, but it's a great little shortcut, and if you come along of an evening you'll see lots of people who live in the Perla on foot wandering up to the Indian Garden, or perhaps diverting and going to another great little bar called Cortica Andalus, which I'll show you in a second, a patio bar. Sorry about the total gridlock, guys, i.e. the huge amounts of traffic that I've had to navigate. So all these cars here, they're parked in the parking area for the Indian Garden, which you can now see on my left, and they've got a lovely terrace courtyard. And then behind that, the main restaurant itself. Lovely friendly bunch in there as well. Food absolutely superb. And as I say, quite unusually, they've developed a kind of, not just the main menu, but an Indian tapas menu. Picked the right time to come out of there, didn't I? What was I saying about lack of traffic? Till I come to turn out of a road junction. I think I'm filming this at the time now everyone's decided, oh, it's nearing lunchtime, let's go out. So now heading back into Arboleas centre. And I warn you guys, you might not pick it up from the video here, but this is a limited speed driving area, quite correctly, because you're now getting into main residential areas, but there's also quite a lot of quite savage speed bumps that have lost their paint, so if it's night time you don't detect them too easily, and you go into launch mode. bit easier to spot in the day, so I won't worry. So over on my left is the Balls Club for the whole Petanque, do you pronounce it, which has grown and grown over the years. It's hugely popular, and they play this here twice a week. And then just dipping down to my right is Cortico Andaluz, one of my favourite bars, are very hidden away and discreet, but absolutely wonderful team run that. Iris, Anna, Sis, fantastic food in there, often great entertainment. The Coviran supermarket, which has had a kind of revamp since we last saw it, and that consists of having the whole front repainted and different colours, and then basically moving everything that was on the left over to the right. It's not got any bigger. Sorry, I just found out. I run in there now and I can never bloody find anything. Typical supermarket. Hostel Messon, you know, a really popular watering hole, great tapas selection, especially on the Saturday's market day. And of course underneath that you've got the Cubitin kind of bar, which can be rented out for private functions. You get Zumba classes in there, they're doing line dancing and stuff now as well. I think there's a kind of one of these big kind of Slimmers World meetings each week as well. And this is all going on discreetly underneath the Hostel Messon, and you could drive past and not even think there was anything going on. So I'm just coming in now. There's a little villa community, maybe around 35-40 max villas on my left, called La Cueva, which is known for being very easy walking distance into Arboleas centre, and it's slightly elevated, so they've got beautiful views over this kind of rambler with all the fruit trees, and then on to the town. And there you can see Arboleas main town in front of me. I suppose I better go and do some work now. Hope you've enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.